For decades, people around the world have displayed a range of special powers and abilities. These powered beings came together and built superpowered cities to thrive in. My name is Angus, and I'm a journalist for the Daily Deposit. My partner Sal and I interview the citizens of Super City, investigating incidents and exploits, and helping where we can, holding the powerful accountable. Because heroes don't do paperwork. Hello, super citizens, and welcome to Heroes Don't Do Paperwork, the only podcast about events both big and small in Super City. I'm one of your hosts, Angus, joined as always by my co-host Sal.
Hello.
We are reporters in Super City, and we're here to bring you the news.
Here it is.
This is
on a
it.
platter.
This is the news. Oh wow, you actually.
I brought a platter.
No, I know. When I talked about platters, it was definitely like more of like a an analogy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I went with a more literal take.
Yes, and that's good. I guess we kind of come at it from both angles. You know, I've got a bit more of a
imagery thing,
and you're
and
more
for those who can't make pictures in their mind, I have a platter here.
I didn't realize that, Sal. You're one of, I forget what that is called, but you don't when I tell you to like picture an apple or think of an apple, you don't see an apple.
I actually open up the internet and I look up an apple.
Okay.
So I can remember.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, of course. So you have seen apples, but you have to access...
Of course I've seen an apple.
Okay.
I can't say I've seen every fruit, but an apple, I've cornered that particular niche of the fruit world.
Are there any fruits you haven't seen?
Kiwi.
Okay. You're not missing much. It's round and hairy and small.
I can't even fathom what you're talking about.
All right. Well, how are you doing, Sal? The memory or mental images aside, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Is it safe to reveal where we are at this point, or should we wait for that revelation at a later time?
I mean, I feel like maybe we should just say it then.
All right. Well, we're here at the Rat King Theater.
Yes.
For an as of yet undisclosed reason. We'll disclose that later.
Yes.
But it was fortuitous because I actually had another reason for coming here. I am in charge of reviewing a play.
Oh wow! Oh, that's very cool.
Yes. Well, I mean, I've seen the play at this point. It just finished.
Mm-hmm.
Cool is not the word I would use to describe it.
Oh wow! Okay.
So the play was titled "Sad."
Oh, okay. Just sad.
Just sad.
Uppercase, lowercase. Is it like a?
It was
an acronym.
It was sad, but it was spelled with 3 A's, so it was just like sad.
Sad. Oh wow. Okay.
And so it's an interesting production because it's just one chair in a room, and you sit there alone, and on stage is another person, and they just sort of ask you questions about the worst parts of your life, and then they try to do a dramatic recreation of the saddest moments.
This almost sounds like therapy.
Well, it worked. I left. It was a real downer.
But you've kind of worked all those emotions out, and now you seem kind of like you seem kind of.
You're right. It was therapeutic. Because they actually had some interesting takes on traumatic moments from my life. And there was a lot of artistic license. I can't say they were 100% accurate, but for someone who did not know me going into the production, they got a lot of the details spot on.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, can we get like a sneak peek of the review? Like, have you processed that fully? Do you think you're gonna? First of all, what's your rating system? Are you like a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of guy? Stars? What do you do?
Well, I use a very unique method. I go by like a freshness rating.
Okay, sure. I don't. Okay, well, I won't burst your bubble. Yes, so you do like is it like a food item that's fresh or? Oh, yeah. Okay. What is it?
Pumpkin.
Okay, so you have a rotten pumpkin or a fresh pumpkin.
Precisely.
So it's almost like a Halloween type scale of like, this is Halloween, in which like that's perfect pumpkin, and then it's like November 8th is where you really,
Yeah, this is more of a mushy pumpkin.
Yeah, exactly. You forgot garbage.
And this came out to a partially ripened pumpkin.
Okay.
'cause once again, I did leave sad, and
Yes.
that's not what I particularly go to the theater for, to feel sad. But that said, production quality was great. It was a unique experience. I mean, it was a play literally made for me. Um, I I don't know if the listeners want to hear about sad moments from my life.
I don't know. Maybe just one. Is
Okay,
that too much?
so there
Don't
was.
pick the saddest though. Pick like a middle one.
I'll pick the middle saddest.
Yeah.
Okay. Um.
The mean of sadness.
Okay. Well, here's one. So, when I was a child, there was like a bring your parents to school day, and there was like a lot of activities in the afternoon. Part of which was like a miniature Olympics. And so there was supposed to be a three-legged race. And when it came time to start, my mother didn't choose me as her co-runner. She picked another child.
Yeah, she picked another. Well, that would be pretty sad. That's kind of upsetting.
I got sidelined.
You got benched. Wow.
Yeah. And it stuck with me because I've always considered myself to be a good third leg.
Absolutely.
Right? I consider myself to be the third leg of this podcast. Your third-legged podcast partner.
Wow, that's very kind of you. I think you're much more than that, but absolutely, certainly encompassing that. Yeah.
But it's the one time I would have had the opportunity to do it with my mother. I just.
Who did your mom pick?
Carson Greymane.
Carson Greymane. Wow, that's a fancy name.
He was a werewolf lord.
Oh, okay, a werewolf lord. Wow, okay.
Lord he's lord now. Back then he was just like a.
Of course, he would have been
lord
like
in waiting.
Yeah, a little lord kind of thing.
Little lord.
Wow, okay, huh?
A werepup.
That's kind of cute. Wow. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
and then I got to see that moment recreated on stage. And once again, I got a lot of the details spot on.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Well, I can't wait to hear more of your review when you print it. That's been awesome.
I'll let you read it first. What have you been working on?
So you and I've been talking about this, and ever since I've kind of moved into the walls of
your apartment,
of my apartment, the raccoon and his wife. Now wife. The wedding was beautiful, by the way.
Oh wow! Congratulations to your raccoon roommate.
Randy and his wife now kind of occupy the closet-sized apartment that I used to live in, and I have been kind of shunned off into the walls. And I won't lie, I had a hard time getting around in the walls. I am not very svelte. I'm a thick boy. Especially with the big fleshy backpack of podcast equipment. So I took it on myself. I wanted to challenge myself, and I asked Ed, our editor, I was like, Ed, I want to take up the health column. I want to take up health and fitness for the Daily Deposit. And so I want to talk about different diets and different workout routines and stuff like that. And so my first column is actually about this 30-minute workout program that I've been doing, and it's from the Crepuscular Muscular.
Oh,
it's,
interesting.
Yeah. It's
so a bunch of like nighttime felines.
Well, actually, technically, it's twilight. So it's the 30 minutes at the end of the day, between day and night. Essentially, you've got about a 30-minute window, and apparently, that's where your endorphins and your bioavailable. Look, it's a bunch of jargon stuff that I honestly don't fully get yet. But yeah, so there is, and I don't know how he has a cat. He's like an alley cat man. And he kind of takes me out into an alley, and we work out real intense for 30 minutes. And then as soon as the sun goes down, as soon as as soon as it ticks over into nighttime, we stop, and we eat like fish.
Oh wow, that's good. You got to get those omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah. I haven't fully gotten it down like him. He can put a whole fish in his mouth and then just pull out the bones.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. I actually was picking bones out of my throat this morning, so I'm gonna chew. But the workouts, I've done it
You're
twice.
Looking good. You're looking. Well, your haunches have never looked more defined.
Oh, thank you. And I feel like my coat is really nice too.
Nice
like
sheen.
my body hair has a bit of a nice sheen to it today. Mm-hmm. So so that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
So I've got a question about
Please.
the crepuscular muscular fitness routine.
Uh-huh.
From what I know about our crepuscular citizens of Super City,
Yeah.
that those active periods are
Very
often very frantic.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
I wouldn't say there's much coordination, not much planning, just kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
How do you reconcile that with like a structured fitness routine?
That's an excellent question, and I'm going to touch on that in the article a little bit. But the way my coach says it, I think his name is Heath, and he the way he says it is nothing burns fat faster than stress.
Understood.
So he says if we can get your heart rate up beyond healthy limits into that stress window, or he calls it the stress window, where your heart is working on overdrive, and you fear for your life and your safety. That's the that it allows you to really get that exercise in that short window, because a lot of people, they're going to the gym for like multiple hours, and to be honest, I do not have the discipline or the attention span for that. So this is really more my speed, where it's like
Some
fear
might
for
say
your
that
life.
nothing focuses you more than being in extreme stress.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm driving through traffic. I'm, Heath, obviously he employs a lot of dogs. Like there's a lot of dogs in the alleys of Super City. Of course, I mean, I feel even stupid pointing that out. Everyone knows that. There's a lot of rabid dogs, and just non-rabid dogs, just dogs in the streets of Super City. And
Sometimes
they
it's just your homies.
sometimes sometimes it is just your dogs, and sometimes it is actual canines that are hungry, and they will chase you. Especially if you're dressed like a cat, like I have to do for it. So I do dress like a cat.
Oh,
And
that's what that costume is.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, I just felt I just came from a workout. We're seeing the nighttime. We're meeting our contact here in the night. So I did just do my workout, and a bunch of dogs chased me here. So I felt pretty good about it. But or sometimes it's also a raccoon. Cats are not the only crepuscular animals, but raccoons. I want to say possums, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Oh yeah, you've also got fishers, weasels.
Yeah.
Really. Hey, you know what? Next time our listeners are out at twilight, keep an eye out for the local wildlife, and you'll have an idea of your crepuscular friends.
That's really well put, Sal. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're working on. I mean, I know, like you said, like you teased out expertly, we are at the Rat King Theater in Super City. We're here to talk to a friend of the show, and well, why don't we just get to it? Like, let's throw to an ad, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to them. Sounds good, Sal?
Sounds great to me.
Hi, I'm Nick Watson.
And I'm Bree Watson.
And we're the host of the Constant Struggle podcast.
We're also siblings.
That too.
Our podcast is about trying to balance art and life,
creativity and chores,
passion and paychecks.
Each episode, we talk to an awesome guest.
We learn about their art, their craft,
and all the frustrating struggles that come along with the journey.
So be sure to check out the Constant Struggle podcast
on the Podcavern Network.
It's a zipper in the back. Sal, it's a zipper in the back.
Okay.
Just unzip me, please.
Okay. I have no problem unzipping you. I'm just curious as to why is the tail and ears part a requirement to the costume?
I don't know. They just feel like they kind of like look nice.
Okay.
Don't pull on the tail.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Don't pull on the tail.
I won't pull on the tail.
Okay, just unzip it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm very sweaty.
Oh, it's evident.
Yeah. Is it coming through the suit?
Well, actually, no. Your suit's watertight. But that's kind of the problem, because as I'm unzipping it, it's kind of just sort of pouring.
Okay,
out.
okay, wait, zip it back up. Okay, it's fine. I will just kind of be like a little water balloon-esque. I'll be a little sloshy. It's fine.
A little sloshy.
I wanted to dress up. We're at the theater. I wanted to present myself well, but there's just no time for that. So, listeners, keep in mind, I am dressed like a giant cat, and it's retaining water like a garbage bag. Okay. Without further ado, all of our friends in Super City, please welcome to the show, Catherine Abernathy-Quill. Hello, Catherine.
Oh, hello. It's absolutely wonderful to have you here again, gentlemen. I've been in such distress over the past few weeks.
Of course. I know, to catch listeners up, Catherine reached out to us. It turns out that Mayor Hick is potentially targeting the Rat King Theater for demolition, and we are here to help. We're here to help, Catherine, and we're gonna figure something out like we did for some of these other places we've been trying to help around the city. Okay?
We just found out that we've lost our funding from the city. The government has pulled the funding, and we're right at the brink of our biggest festival season. And are you here for the audition for Cats, the reclaimed musical?
I am not. Although, well, maybe I am. I don't know. Do you think I could pull it off?
Give me your best rum-tum tigger.
Well, this is a new production we're actually putting forward, where the Cats take on the roles of actual business people within this town, the city here. Yes, so Rum Tum is actually playing the mayor himself.
Oh!
So we were very excited to have this production going. We thought it would build a lot of stir, a lot of business. However, we lost our funding. And I mean, if everyone brought their own costume like you, we'd definitely be able to go forward. But
well, I mean, I'll certainly stick around. I'm not very good at memorizing lines, but like I could.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. We only use cat vocalization during the show.
Oh, good. So it'd be something like something like that. Maybe.
I feel like I'm there.
I feel like you have some vocal training.
Maybe a little. I have. Okay, I won't lie. I've had a lot of arguments with a raccoon lately, and my feral voice, I think, is just more cat-like. I have cat vibes.
Did you go to see the raccoon show in Venue 7?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, yes, we have a family of raccoons that we've just got who came up from the city down south, and they've been traveling to little cities throughout doing their production, and now this family of raccoons is currently within the theater doing a production. Yes.
That's a huge get.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And they're all Shakespearean trained actors.
Oh,
Juilliard?
Wow.
Yes.
Juilliard.
Surprising. The youngest is 7 years and has done the full Juilliard curriculum.
And 7 years for a raccoon. I want to say that's probably pretty old for a raccoon.
The oldest is 32.
Wow. That is beautiful. Well, it just goes to show that the wild variety you guys have here going on here at the Rat King Theater. Now,
well, we have the Cats, the actual documentation of living within a city with a corrupt government. That is the full title. Cats, and then the full title. And then we have the Raccoon Plays. It is a series of 3 of Shakespeare's history plays that we have put together with the raccoons, and the audience gets to choose their favorite from those.
Oh, wow.
We also have This Is Babies.
This is Babies.
This is Babies. It's a play where we have babies on stage, just like several of them. Like a puppy bowl.
Sure.
Yeah. They put a bunch of puppies on stage. We did that with babies. Wow.
Yes. That's fascinating.
And in the center, we have a button, a big red button. And if a baby hits it, somebody in the audience dies.
Whoa! Wow. That, and what is it that you're trying to what is the message of this play, that we're doomed to be replaced by the younger generation, or what are we to take away from this?
It's more of we don't understand the value of our decisions, and that babies don't have the concept of how they belong within our society, and the stress that they put onto society. Because I mean, imagine an audience full just staring at these babies around this button. They're slapping their hands all over the place, and you don't know which seat is rigged to explode. You have no idea.
An explosion.
It is an explosion. Yeah, I was curious.
It is a literal explosion, so there's a bit of collateral on either side.
Okay. Oh wow. Which parallels real life. A baby enters the world and sends out ripples and shockwaves, and it's messing up a bunch
of
your
life effectively ends.
We have had huge critical acclaim, huge reviews.
Wow. Well, actually, speaking of reviews, Sal here we just got done seeing a show here.
Yeah, I just finished seeing the production of Sad.
Oh, you saw Sad. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. It was
Yes.
a lot.
Did you take advantage of our personal space room? We have a room that
Oh.
we filled with Kleenexes and stuffed
Oh.
toys and just like, little things to get you to pick up your spirits a little. There's chocolate bars in there that are a courtesy, You can
I
go in
wasn't
there and just
aware of
sit
such
for
a
a while.
service.
Yes.
It's like the opposite of one of those rooms where you go in and break stuff.
Why would you do that in the theater?
No, sorry. No, I know
Do you go to theaters to
no.
break things?
No, my apologies. No, there are services you can pay
Healthier
for.
ways to work out that aggression.
Yes.
Sometimes
I
people
mean,
get...
we do have one theater that is quite old. I suppose you could go in and break a chair.
Look, Catherine, I'm so sorry to even bring up the notion of breaking anything here, because I know the amount of stress you're under, or I can imagine the amount of stress you're under here.
Terrible, terrible stress. It's seeping into everyday facilities here at the facility.
Oh yeah, look at that. Even the building seems stressed out.
Yes?
Sagging
Well,
ceilings.
it is a lot of buildings listeners will remember the Rat King Theater came about when a bunch of theaters that were next to each other all kind of they all had add-ons and renovations, and they all got kind of tangled
Several
together.
fires.
Several fires?
Several fires.
And so it has become this one big amalgam of several buildings. But when the mayor says he wants to tear this down, does he want to tear down part of it or just the whole
Oh, he
thing?
wants to demolish the entire thing.
Oh my
And
God.
it would be the greatest of shames. Can I let you in on a little secret?
Of course.
Okay. Okay. We're friends. The
Yes.
accent's not. Yeah.
Of
We've been
course.
through this. Okay.
We've
Cool.
been...
Yeah. Totally. Do not tell anyone this. This is on the down low. This is
Mhm.
super secret. But the Rat King Theater is alive.
Whoa.
It is a living, like you said, the stress. You could see the stress. It's
Mhm.
stressed out.
Oh, wow.
It's like it's got shingles. It's like
Yeah.
the walls are peeling.
Oh,
Its
interesting.
shingles have shingles because it
Yeah.
has a shingled roof.
It's stressed out. It's got shingles. It's
Yep.
losing hair, which I
Oh.
suppose would be the fabric is getting
Yeah.
worn down.
That explains so much, because I pressed one of the automatic door openers earlier, and the building just kind of let out a groan, like it was just a tired old person,
Oh.
just like,
Oh.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, look, we've been trying to help a couple places around Super City recently with this. We went to the Museum of Personal History.
That's a great museum. Love it.
It's great. And then we
Yeah.
also just recently did Providence Park, where a bunch of pilgrim treasure was found. And so so we've managed to at least to postpone demolition of that park. And we're hoping to do the same for you here. So
if this building gets demolished, that's like literal murder.
it's like literal murder. So this is great. This is I think angle one, because we're going to write an article on all this, but the podcast will kind of serve as a.
But you can't tell anyone that the building's alive.
Okay.
Because
Interesting.
that's a huge health and safety violation.
Oh, I see.
yeah,
I
we'll have
see.
to edit this out. You can get that, right, Angus?
Yeah, you're gonna edit this,
Probably.
right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think so. Yeah, and I'll cut around your accent drop too, like so people won't.
Yes, of course, that would be quite good.
And it's funny because dead buildings, not a problem. We did an episode in a school that was built inside the body of a dead giant, but he's dead, so who cares?
Yeah,
right?
that's completely fine. Where this building, if it dies, it'll probably take out a good portion of the audiences currently within it.
Okay. Well, yeah, presumably they would wait until everyone's out to demolish it, but with Mayor Hicks, you never know. He's very underhanded. Okay.
Also with the way the theater's built, there's some theaters that are hidden and secret on top of other ones. Sometimes we don't know if the audience is in or out, or if the building's been vacated at any given time. There could be an audience in the theater right now.
We wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know.
I am curious as to which theater is the butt.
Oh, the Loading Bay Theater.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes. That makes sense. Loading, unloading. It kind of makes sense.
Yes, clearly. And then the head would be the crown jewel of the Rat King Theater, which is the Central Gymnasium.
Oh, cool. And
I believe I saw a production of Dodgeball there.
One of our favorite musicals.
Okay. Well, with these other places, we've tried to kind of highlight. the good that they do for the community. And so if we can't approach that angle that you wanted me to edit out of the podcast, that's fine. That's good for us to know. It kind of incentivizes us. But if we don't want to approach that angle openly, then we've got to find some other angles. Like what kind of services do you guys do? Like an after school program, or do you do?
We definitely do. Yes, we have an after school program where we get the children from schools in the neighborhood to come in, and we teach them about theater by allowing them to go through the walls inside the theater and collect the debris that's been falling down, and then repurpose it as puppets.
Okay, so the pseudo chimney sweep work, and then a puppet class. That's really wow. Okay,
so they get pieces of broken walls. They get old cans that have been thrown out,
copper pipes,
weird
insulation.
masks. Insulation is a very good stuffing tool. Where you can make the puppets nice and plump.
Okay, there's no asbestos here, is there? Okay, big quiet head shake from Catherine. Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay, and I believe you. And I
don't think we're paying enough attention to the fact that even if there were asbestos, perfectly good paper mache.
That's good. That's true. It's a great medium to work in.
And the children, they love this program. We've had critical success with it. Some of them have gone on to work in the theater as our props masters.
Oh, cool. When they grow up?
No.
I have seen a lot of kids walking around lately, just packing stuff up.
A lot of children, yes.
Yeah. So a lot of stage hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw some props being moved earlier that appeared to be made out of macaroni.
Oh, yes. That's because we have the macaroni theater on the 13th floor.
Oh.
Yeah,
cute.
Sometimes the pieces just fall down throughout the building, and so we just do the macaroni art with it. We mainly have Italian opera in that theater.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and instead of serving popcorn, we serve little cups full of macaroni. Uncooked.
Is it cooked?
Uncooked.
No.
It's very crunchy, audience.
Well, when you're eating popcorn, you want it crunchy. We figured it'd be the same effect,
Sure.
What you have to do was let the macaroni sit in your mouth until it softens up.
Well,
Does that work?
8 minutes.
Sal's been known to pack a gum of farfalle.
I have
fusilli.
chewing macaroni that I'm constantly dipping.
Oh yes, you can get a dipping sauce. You get a little marinara tray, so you can dip your raw macaroni into the marinara.
Honestly, doesn't sound so bad. It doesn't sound so bad.
It's one of our most popular snacks. Oh, that could be something we could sell to the general public as a fundraiser.
That's an excellent idea. So you guys do some more snack and stuff like that. Get people passing by on the street. Generate some kind of positive
Hand
publicity.
out samples of raw macaroni.
Okay. That's awesome. That's a great angle. I'm also thinking of something else. Now, I don't want to compromise your integrity as an artist. However, you do have a play that seems to be pointing out how openly corrupt the mayor is. Is there any chance you could we lean into parody law on that or something like that to maybe just kind of, I don't know, to get the mayor off your back?
Mayor repurposed parody law. He's now called it the parody of law.
Oh no.
Oh, that's dreadful. That's awful. Well, I believe that we could use this play as like a way for the general public to realize what is happening around here. We're hoping that this is a speaking point. And art can't be censored. That's
true.
Terrible.
It's just like your play, Bleep Uncensored.
Uncensored, yes.
I'm excited for that one.
In the Safe Word Theater.
The Safe Word Theater, exactly.
Yes, that one we keep down in the dungeons.
And that one is a little more risque. Is that fair to say?
Yes, we have all sorts of venues and festival planning. The festival here has actually 17 different rating levels for audiences to choose from.
Could we just go through just a few of those? That sounds...
Yeah, well, we have your general, your like PG, your mature. We have a rating strictly for animals because we're all inclusive here. Of course. We have a rating for if you have a triggering for the sound of chewing. And the Macaroni Theater, of course, has that rating. Yes, so if you're triggered by loud chewing, we highly suggest not going to that one.
Yeah, I'd probably skip
we have
that
a
one.
rating for the theater that we just fill with fog. So it's not
Okay.
necessarily we use a fog machine. It's just constantly filled with fog.
Probably the lungs of the building. If the building were alive, which it isn't.
It's been starting to smell a little strange there around this time. I think the building's really stressed out. It's finding ways to,
it's
relieve
coping
that
mechanisms.
stress. Yeah. Yes.
Interesting. You and me both, building, eh? Okay.
A chronic condition.
The children that work there are,
They're pretty wild. Okay, wait, and then the bleep uncensored, what rating does that one have?
So that one is unique. It's our new unique formula. We actually put a series of ratings together.
Oh, okay.
And we take one away every time an audience walks out of the show.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we start out with a long series of ratings. And then as an audience members leave, we gauge what part of the show they're leaving at.
Yeah, okay.
We take that out of the show and then we do the show again.
Got it. But it is a show about not censoring art. Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
It's been getting shorter and shorter every time we produce it.
How long is it now?
It's 13 minutes.
13 minutes? That's pretty good.
Was 3.5 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, 13 minutes, though, you can do a lot of different shows,
Surprisingly, it still has 5 ratings on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, well, we'll see.
I've always said that theater never properly respects the time of its audience, so 13 minutes is a perfect entry level for someone who's just looking to get into art.
Yeah, and you provided tarps for people who sit in the front row, so that's very nice of you. In the splash zone.
We also recycle those, so they get hosed down by the children.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Well, here's a thought. When I was younger, my school ran a charity event where you could bid on the teachers, and then the teacher would have to do an activity of your specification.
Wow.
With all of the staff you have here at the theater, perhaps you could run a similar event.
You want us to sell children?
Well, when you say it like that...
Is the staff almost exclusively children?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Staffed by children.
Are you so you're the only adult that works here?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. I think we were under the interpretation that only some of the staff was children.
No, all the actors, we give full salaries to our adult actors,
of course.
Except for the babies, of course. Yes, we actually don't pay them.
No. They're babies.
No.
What are they going to do with money?
Yes, exactly. We're a huge sponsor of the orphanages here in town. So,
really?
Yes, the babies, the children, they come and work here, and then it's kind of an outreach program, and then they go out into the city and they can find other jobs and use the skills they found here to do that.
Got it.
And we also feed them, so they're happy.
What do you feed them?
Raw spaghetti.
Raw spaghetti and marinara. Got it. Got it. Okay.
They're huge fans. Lots of fiber.
Yeah. Yes. It's okay.
Almost exclusively.
Yeah. This is kind of piecing together, Sal, for me. I think we really play up the angle of the good that the Rat King Theater is doing for the orphans of Super City. Yes. And as listeners will know, per capita, there are a ton of orphans in Super City.
There are a lot of orphans in Super City.
An orphanage on every street corner.
Yes. Yep. Okay. Well, I don't know, Sal. Is there anything else that you think we can do to kind of set the Rat King Theater up better for success here?
Now I know that we're not. Actually, hold on. That would never work. You know what? I feel foolish for even thinking it.
Nope. Are you sure? You
anything.
Can share it
we can take any ideas, all suggestions.
Well, if we were to disclose that the Rat King Theater was a living entity, we could put it into witness protection. Think of all the things it's seen.
Oh, wow.
It has seen a lot. We did have that play where we invited every important political figure to the theater and put them in a room by themselves for 2 hours.
My God.
Well, people watched it.
And these
I remember that. Collusion the musical.
Yes. Actually, The Cats, the retelling of all the dark, dirty secrets of the city, is a second in that trilogy. Yeah. There will be a third. We took inspiration from that, turned everything they said into cat noises, for the Cats adaptation. And now we will move on in our third version of it, where we put actual cats and the politicians in cats costumes and have them interact, explaining why they made these choices on stage.
I'm putting something together now. I think the mayor knows the theater's alive. Sal, you remember when we were working for Chart, the paperwork for demolishing a building and the paperwork for demolishing a person were very different, and it's very a lot easier. It's a lot easier to demolish a building. I think this would actually help us if we got it out. I think you're right, Sal. If we got it out that this building is alive, then the mayor would have to jump through more hurdles to silence it.
To legally execute a living.
To execute a building. So
surprisingly, way more paperwork.
It's like it is. You'd expect it to be more paperwork, but you'd be surprised how much more paperwork.
A surprising amount.
Even if the mayor succeeds in getting the paperwork submitted, he's still going to have to find an electric chair big enough to strap the building into.
I mean, technically, with all the wiring in the building.
Well, probably... okay. Well, okay. I don't know if you remember this, Sal, but a while ago, a TV station became sentient. Do you remember?
I do recall. I believe one of the hosts fused with the wall.
Yeah, one of the hosts fused with the building, and they're still trying to figure out what to do with that thing. That building is kind of moving around a bit more, though.
Oh yes, the Rat King Theater cannot move.
No, okay.
It is tried. We have tied so many theaters into this theater. It's like Frankenstein's monster. Every time we attach a new one, it's like we're sewing onto the existing body. And it's gotten to the point where it can no longer even drag itself. We were 3 blocks down the road 2 years ago.
Really?
Yes.
And was it struck by lightning? Was it struck by lightning?
Yes, that caused 2 of the fires.
That caused 2 of the fires. Got it.
2 of the several fires.
Several. Okay. Catherine, with your permission, I would like to keep in the portion of this episode where we talked about the theater being alive. I think that's going to get a lot of sympathy from the citizens of Super City, and I think the mayor doesn't want people to know that. And I think if we get that out, it'll put us in a better spot. Yes, there might be some health code violations, but, Sal and I, we've dealt with that paperwork before back in the day. I'm sure we can help you kind of...
Surprising amount of wiggle room.
But...
If you classify the children as blood cells... or as antibodies or whatever, I'm sure we can figure something out.
And I mean, we could put it together as a protest, a theatrical protest piece to the health codes within the city.
Yes.
They can't shut down a protest. So
no, of course not.
The building exists in protest of these strict laws around having food served inside a living creature.
But that's cooked food.
Oh,
uncooked food is fine, I think.
I'm pretty sure uncooked food served within a living being is...
Oftentimes the problem with health code violations is food preparation. But if you don't prepare the food before serving it, there's zero problem.
And sure, it's children serving the food, but they're not preparing it. It's not like we have underpaid, underage children in kitchens. We don't even have a kitchen.
They're orphans. What do you like they're not trained. No. If they were trained, it would be a problem.
Wow, these loopholes are big enough we could drive a building through them.
Not this one. It cannot move. We cannot move this building.
Okay. I think we've got a good plan of attack here. Okay, I think, Sal, you and I think we should get to work. I think you and I should get to work on writing this article tonight, and we'll get this episode out as soon as we can to help you and your theater, Catherine.
That would mean so much to me. And just for your article, just to get it very clear, the theater's name, it is the Rat King Theater, but his name is Hector.
Hector. Oh, that's Hector. A very nice name.
Yes.
I like that.
You see, touch the wall and say his name, and you'll feel a little pulse there. Yeah,
okay.
You see.
Hector. Ooh, yeah, tingled under my hand. That's kind of nice.
That's the power of theater.
Wow.
It's a living, breathing theater.
It is. Sal, do you want to touch the wall and talk to it at all?
Not even remotely.
No. Fair enough. That's your choice. Catherine, before we leave, is there anything else you want to plug about the theater? Like, I know you guys are going into big festival season. Is there anything that people should be aware of? Are there any deals or special themed nights?
Yes. So we do have a children's night. So very appropriate. Only for the baby play, though.
Okay.
So we're
The
just
one where someone dies.
The one where someone dies. So, okay, cool. Yeah.
and that night is a 2-for-1. So
Mhm.
one child pays, and they can bring a friend for free.
Wow.
So and
But
as
the
a-
explosions are still 1-for-1.
just yes, the price of explosive materials in the city, as you know, is quite high.
Hey, we know. It is hard to get a decent explosive here in Super City.
Oh,
It's
it is.
ridiculous.
And you think with the amount of superheroes who can cause explosions that they'd be doing it for free at this point.
Exactly. Okay. Well,
So we have a deal on that one. And then as well, the Macaroni Theater, we're working on a new piece. So it is Italian opera, but we're doing a piece, an unconventional piece, we'd like to say. So instead of using the raw pasta, we've got some gnocchi. So it's still raw, but
still
it's
raw,
soft.
but it's like soft.
And we're not sure how this is going to go, so we're offering a pay what you can for
That's
it.
so unconventional too, compared to all the other plays. That's so
Yes, and it is
so out
potato
there.
gnocchi too, so it's made with potatoes. So
It's just
Okay.
raw potato in a vaguely new form.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sold on it, but we have to try new things. You know, the theater has to reinvent itself.
Absolutely. We're no strangers to reinventing ourselves. I will probably come check that out. That sounds kind of tasty. So, and the mouth noises will probably be different. So
They're
I
a
might
lot
be able
quieter. And
Yeah.
just between you and me, we don't actually use like real potatoes.
Oh wow, what do you guys use?
With the insulation from the walls.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's-
So, it's still, the children eat it all the time, and
Of
it's perfectly
course.
fine.
That's
Yeah,
perfectly.
asbestos is only dangerous if you inhale it. Swallowing
Yeah,
is A-okay.
but eating it isn't inhaling, obviously.
Asbestos gnocchi? That sounds,
Ooh.
it sounds Italian.
It actually
asbestos
does.
gnocchi. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it. I think that's gonna do it for us here at Heroes Don't Do Paperwork.
Thank you so much. I have so much
Thank
hope
you.
for the theater now. You bring a ray of light to this otherwise dimly lit building.
I'm so glad we can help. It is very dimly lit, but maybe when it's feeling a bit better, it'll light up a bit more. For those of you listening at home, remember, try to do the right thing. Whew.
If I were to be a cat, I think I would be a McCavity.
Ooh.
Hey everybody, Angus here. As always, Sal Bedfellow was played by Matthew Wally. Catherine Abernathy-Quill was played by Patrice-Ann Forbes. Capital Pride and Ottawa Fringe are building a long-term partnership and will be teaming up to present Queered, a mini-fest. Queered will be a curated festival presenting the best queer Ottawa Fringe shows for a remount in August during Capital Pride on August 22nd. Patrice's show, The Vexed and the Vigorous, is proud to be one of those shows. I highly suggest you go check it out. If you like the show and want to support it, or any of the other shows on the Podcavern Network, consider leaving a review or a like or subscribing. All of that helps. Or head on over to podcavern.com and check out our merch store. We've got lots of cool hats, hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. Anything you buy there helps us keep the lights on here. Thanks for listening.